Hi, I'm Daphne Richards. Our question this week is from my Facebook page, where Cheryl asked about rooting rosemary. Cheryl has a large trailing rosemary and noticed recently that several small versions have sprouted up near the main plant. This got her wondering whether she could propagate rosemary in the ground. She'd seen online where people propagated it in water, but wanted more information on rooting it in soil. Good news, Cheryl. Rosemary is one of the easiest plants to propagate, especially from softwood cuttings. In the spring, once stems start to elongate, take tip cuttings about 6 inches long. Be sure to cut a new stem, which will be green and growing, and not woody yet. Remove the leaves on the lower edge of the cuttings by simply rubbing them against the grain. Then stick the cuttings in a small container of potting soil up to the point where the lowest leaves are just on the surface, not below the soil level. Keep the potting soil moist, but not too wet, and the cuttings should root in about a month. If you pull slightly on the cuttings and they move, no roots have been formed yet. But if you encounter resistance, roots are starting to grow and the process is going smoothly. After a couple more weeks, you can dump the container out and separate the cuttings, then plant them wherever you want. For most plants, rooting in soil is much better than rooting in water. Roots that are developed in water function differently than roots formed in soil. So if you want to eventually transfer your cutting to soil, it's better to root it in soil to start with. If rooted in water, once the cuttings are moved to soil, entirely new roots will need to be formed since the water-grown roots will not function properly in their new environment. Thanks for such a great question, Cheryl. I love using questions and photos from viewers, so if you'd like to leave a question on my Facebook page, you can find me by searching for horticulturist Daphne Richards. Our plant this week is bottlebrush, Callistemon rigidus. There are lots of different species, varieties, and cultivars of this Australian native available in nurseries, so be sure to do a little research on the differences before you buy. The two most important distinguishing characteristics are size and hardiness, since dwarf cultivars and more tolerant species are becoming more widely available. Bottlebrush is a small, usually shrubby tree, normally getting only 10 to 15 feet tall. Bees absolutely love the fuzzy red flowers, and the tree will be buzzing with life all summer long. This tree is notoriously frost sensitive, usually being completely killed if temperatures get into the 20s. But I've also seen bottlebrush taken out by our extreme Texas heat during abnormally hot, dry summers. One way to protect bottlebrush from the heat is to plant it in a sheltered spot with maybe only 6 to 8 hours of summer sun. And the north side of a landscape should be avoided since that's the coldest spot. Local garden blogger Robin Mayfield shared her experience with this tree and her gorgeous photos. After the harsh summer of 2010, which was followed by an abnormally cold winter, her majestic 12-foot tree succumbed to the stress of such extreme weather. Thanks for sharing those photos, Robin. We'd love to hear from you, so please visit us at klru.org/ctg and send us your questions and photos from your garden.